Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Today I am getting my raised beds prepared for some fall planting. Actually, I'm just getting two of the beds ready to plant. This one specifically, I have to get it ready because I have a job coming up and I need to plant some stuff on camera. And then the other bed is just, it's ready to go, and you'll see that coming up. So this bed, all it has left in it is these big old overgrown kale, which the kale is still good. It looks beautiful. I could keep it going, but I need the space. This kale was planted in spring. There is a spring planting video on this, I think. Don't quote me. If I find it, I'll tag it for anybody that wants to go back and see what this looked like back in spring. But I am so excited because this was one of two beds that I covered this spring, so these plants did really well. Definitely going to be covering my beds this winter and spring. Covering your garden beds in plastic is just such a great way to extend your gardening season, and I will forever have this to use in my back pocket. It was such a success for me this year. Once our temps dip below freezing, I'll cover these two beds back up and be able to continue to harvest in these beds throughout the winter, and it's just wonderful. It's something that I've always wanted to do, but felt like, okay, to do this it would be so expensive, and it's really not. It was like less than $50 for me to get this set up in place, and now it's something that I can continue to use for years to come. So I highly recommend, like, if you are thinking about covering your beds for winter and early spring, do so. I live in Ohio zone 5, so we get temperatures below zero sometimes, so it's some of the winters are extremely cold here. So back to what's actually happening in the video, I am pulling out any big root balls. I want my soil to be light and fluffy for planting, and thankfully this soil is still really good. I added 2 bags of compost before planting in spring, and the soil still looks really good. So before I plant in this bed again, I will add in some fertilizer. And as you can see, I'm struggling with my drip. The little I don't know what it's called, the closer for the end, it is too small for the drip tubing that I have, so I have to reorder the in another size. So I've been using rubber bands. It's janky, but it works. So here's the deer netting going back over the bed. For now, I am going to change this out because the deer netting still allowed some of the cabbage moths to get in. Not a lot, but I caught probably about a handful in there. So now I'm working on the second bed, and this bed is where I planted bush beans and nasturtiums with you guys, and I can tag that video for anyone who wants to go back and see it. But now it's time to harvest the rest of the beans and then take care of this bed. So I have beans in my big 3x6 beds as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and harvest those as well since I have so many that are ready. I didn't realize it because I hardly look for beans over there because the other bed has more beans. So I'm getting those out. These beans are climbing beans, and yeah, they're amazing. So these are the green beans that I planted with you guys in a few months ago, and they are covered in spider mites. You can see all of that spider mite damage down there on the leaves where they look mottled. So I picked all the green beans off, and now I'm just gonna pull the plants and potentially replant beans here. I'm not sure because I'm kind of on this kale planting kick, so I might plant more kale there or do more beans. We'll see. For now, I just need to get these plants out. We're having a spider mite just fest in the garden this year, so yeah, they gotta go. So this bed is pretty much clear of beans. Oh, wait a minute. I see some leaves. So I'll clean up the rest of that. Any of the leftover foliage, that's calendula there. Calendula around the sides, and then nasturtium in the front. Those are going to stay. They don't really show any signs of spider mite damage, so I'm going to leave them. And then I'm going to add in some new soil and then plant this bed up here in the next week or two. So I decided that I should just get this netting taken care of since I already had the new netting. Yeah, I'm so excited about this. So this is actually like tulle from the store. So I got this from Walmart, super cheap, less than $10, and the holes are so much smaller, which means that nothing will be able to get through unless it is teeny tiny. And what I'm most worried about is cabbage moths. So this will definitely keep cabbage moths out. And usually once temperatures start to cool down in the fall, you'll see less and less pest pressure. But I'm still going to keep my beds covered because I don't trust any bug. So now I'm just cleaning off the green beans and I'm getting ready to process them. We're not cooking green beans tonight. So I want to show you guys what I do until I have enough to use. So like, you know, sometimes as a small home gardener, you don't always have enough of something to make a meal. So a lot of times I will do different things to save until I have enough for a meal. So right now I like to collect the green beans and then clean them, chop them up, and then freeze them. It's a way to preserve the harvest, not have to use anything right away. And then a lot of times, you know, when you're harvesting regularly, you know, you just have like a handful at a time. So this is a great way to save your harvest until you have enough to make a full meal. And I'm super excited because I just got this kitchen island from Facebook Marketplace. It's brand new and it was like such a good price. We had been looking for a kitchen island for months and months now. We just needed some extra prep space and this one works out perfectly. So we have been freezing quite a bit of our stuff. We've got kale, a couple bags of green beans. We saved the leftovers from the kale to make stock with. Anything vegetable leftovers. We try to save those. We do some in the compost and then some in the freezer for when we make stock. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next. Bye.